Hello and welcome to my quick tutorial on how to remove or blur the background of a pre-recorded video. Now the reason you might want to do this is because you are recording a video from a external presenter for a webinar, and you can use Teams or Zoom for a live stream, but for pre-recording we use a site called Riverside FM. So the way Riverside FM works is it creates a local recording of each speaker. So, which is beneficial because unlike Teams or Zoom, it's not going to adjust the quality of their stream based on their internet speed. So you end up with a very consistent recording with separate tracks, so you can download the MP4s afterwards. So it's a very good website to use. Unfortunately, though, it does not support native background blur like Zoom and Teams does. Here we can see one of the pre-recorded videos from Riverside, and the client has asked that the background be blurred. I didn't actually realise that we had this in there because Riverside sort of crops the edges off just as Zoom and Teams would when previewing, and I don't know what this woman is doing here, but this is a 22-minute video, and if you look on YouTube and how to blur background videos, the most common example you'll be shown is adding a Gaussian blur and a mask to that, and just hitting the play button there, and it will go through the whole thing, trying to, once you've added your track mask. I'll show you a pre-recorded video of how I did try to do this before. So this is a video I recorded earlier. We've got our 22-minute clip on the timeline. We've dragged the Gaussian blur onto it, and now we're just going to create a mask around the subject. Sped up 10 times for your benefit, because this was quite a laborious process, because I did want to be quite particular with this. You don't have to be, but client expectations are usually around that of what we would achieve from Zoom. We then hit play, and this will then go through the whole video frame by frame, trying to move that mask along with the subject. And you can see quite early on, I think it's around 14 seconds in, it fails. That slight movement is just throwing the whole thing off. So the only thing to do here, there's no point carrying on, is to stop, go back to the point of which it failed, and readjust the mask. And then when we hit play again, it will carry on from that point. It's not going to go right back to the beginning. So here I am adjusting the mask. And then we hit play, and I think almost immediately it fails again. The small amount of movement just throws the whole thing off. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong here, but it's simply not working. So we repeat the process. We go back to the point at which it failed and readjust the mask again. This whole process, by the way, took about 15 minutes. I've reduced it down to 1 to 2 minutes for you. But this 15 minutes, we got to about 14 seconds into the whole video. We hit play, let it adjust the mask, and it's immediately failed. At this point, we just stop and find another way to do it. Unfortunately, Premiere is dreadful at this. It's also incredibly slow. I think I worked out this 22-minute clip would have taken 2 3/4 hours in Premiere to do this badly. This would have taken, to do this whole thing, the best part of a day. So the other solutions available, there's a lovely girl here from Kapwing, which is a web-based service which can allow you to upload your video to it, and it will basically try and do this for you, remove the background, but the results, as you can see, are not great. It does say it's still in beta, and its accuracy and frame rate will be increased upon exporting. And if we skip to the end, we can see it's not too bad, but the I don't know. I think if I were to put this on my client's video, I wouldn't blame them for withholding payment. There are other services available as well which will do something similar, but not for free. So this is the best option for me, at least, on how to do it for completely free. In order to do this, we are still going to use Zoom. And we're also going to be using OBS Studio. If you've not used OBS Studio before, you can find tutorials on how to set it up. It's a very simple and completely free application to use. I've already got it set up from when I used to stream Euro Truck Simulator, apparently. We'll just want to create a blank scene at the bottom here, and we'll want to add a media source. So we will add a new source. We will find that video that we downloaded from Riverside, or that the client has sent you. Perhaps you've recorded it yourself somehow. And here's our video. We can see it playing here. Sorry, that took a bit of time to find. Skip ahead. Just stop that there. And we're going to open up Zoom as well. We just do a new meeting. We don't need the pro version of Zoom or the paid version of Zoom, which I think there is, because we're not actually going to be starting a meeting. We're just doing a local recording. Now you'll see in the bottom right here of OBS Studio, we have an option to start a virtual camera. So we're going to do that. That's done. And if we go back into Zoom, we'll see here OBS virtual camera. Click it, start video, of course. It's blank because we haven't played it back yet. If I skip ahead to my media source in here, here we can see it's already added the blur to it, but you would just add this blur in the same way you would add any sort of background or green screen. We just right click and choose virtual background. We've got all the options available that you would have had if you'd done this originally in Zoom. You could add a green PNG and then chroma key it out afterwards, just to remove it altogether. In OBS, there is one more step we need to do if we want audio, and that is to, when we play this, that's going to be our media source 2 down there. As we play it, we can see it's doing that. Just click on that cog there, advanced audio properties, media source 2. We want to monitor and output, so it's then going to output the audio from that to our system into Zoom. Okay, so now we hit record on Zoom, playback in OBS Studio, and it's probably going to be recording my microphone on top of this, so I'm actually re-recording this audio. But if you have a microphone plugged in, just make sure it's switched off. The other drawback to this is of course that we have to wait the full duration of the video. It's doing it in real time. So in my case, it's a 22-minute video, so I'm going to have to wait 22 minutes for this. And as I said earlier, it will only record at 720p on the free version of Zoom. I believe there's a sort of professional account you can upgrade to, and it will do possibly 1080p. I'm not sure. The point of this is that it's entirely free way to do this. Let's just stop it here because we don't need to do the whole thing. And then we end meeting for all, and Zoom will then convert that meeting into an MP4, I believe. And then we can just bring that into Premiere, and yeah, we've got a nice blurred background. Or if we'd put a green PNG on the background, we could then chroma key that out in Premiere or whatever software you're using. And I think this is a very good blurring. It's certainly better than any of the web services that I found, and it's real time. To do this in Premiere would probably have taken the best part of a whole day. So I was really happy when I found this solution. There may be better solutions, but certainly as a free solution, this is the best one I could come up with.